Streaming services, or online broadcasting services, are gradually shaping the way modern humans approach entertainment. Through subscription-based packages, users are free to access a massive content library that is continuously updated. The more expensive the service, the greater the benefits. But have you ever imagined what would happen if human life itself were operated this way? That very idea has been realized in Common People, the opening episode of Season 7 of the series Black Mirror. The story follows Amanda and Mike, an ordinary married couple suddenly thrown into a life-or-death choice when Amanda falls into a coma. To save his wife, Mike decides to use the services of Rivermind, a tech company that provides life support through a subscription-based model. At first, it seems like Amanda might return to her normal life. But Rivermind's tiered service system forces them to pay more for premium packages. Otherwise, Amanda would be turned into an advertising tool. Common People continues to affirm the trademark essence of Black Mirror, a series already infamous for exposing the dark side of technology and human life. In this video, let's explore how Rivermind stripped this couple of their freedom to live, and why the service system behind it makes viewers' skin crawl. Amanda and Mike are a typical middle-class American couple. Mike is a welder, while Amanda is a teacher. They're not wealthy, but they have worked hard to build a peaceful life. Every year, the couple saves up a little money to celebrate their wedding anniversary at Juniper Inn, the very place where they got married. They're also looking forward to welcoming a new member into the family, hoping that the laughter of a child would make their home warmer. Then tragedy struck unexpectedly. During a class, Amanda suddenly collapsed and was rushed to the hospital. Upon hearing the devastating news, Mike hurried there. But it was already too late. His wife had fallen into a deep coma. In his despair, Mike was offered an option by the doctor, a startup company called Rivermind, currently testing a new treatment for patients deemed incurable. Despite the risks, Mike nodded in agreement. He was then introduced to Gore, a representative of the company, and also a living witness of this cutting-edge method. Rivermind is a revolution in neuroscience, Gore began his consultation. The process works like this. First, the damaged neural structures in Amanda's brain would be mapped and backed up onto Rivermind's server. Then, the tumor and surrounding damaged tissue would be removed and replaced with artificial tissue capable of receiving signals. Rivermind's system would transmit Amanda's consciousness from the server back into her newly grafted brain tissue, allowing her to maintain life and awareness like a normal person. There were only two small notes with this method. She must remain within Rivermind's coverage area, and she would need to sleep an additional 1 to 2 hours each day to reduce the system's load. The entire surgery would be performed free of charge, with the family only needing to pay a monthly fee of $300, an unbelievable bargain to bring back a loved one. Mike decided to sign the contract. After the surgery, Amanda woke up, and the couple resumed life as before. But that $300 monthly fee was still a long-term burden for a middle-income couple. They had to cut their trip to Iceland to visit Mike's father, where Rivermind wasn't yet available. Mike worked extra shifts to cover the bills, while Amanda, facing the therapy's side effects, needed more sleep than usual. The time they had for each other dwindled, creating distance and growing tension between them. During a drive to Juniper, for their anniversary after a turbulent year, Amanda confessed her guilt about Mike having to work so hard, saying they shouldn't waste money on such occasions anymore. Mike disagreed, saying he needed some rest for himself. They argued, even though neither intended to dismiss the other's efforts. But in the middle of the tense atmosphere, Amanda suddenly fainted, because their car had left Rivermind's coverage zone. At first, Rivermind was marketed as a breakthrough in biotechnology, a medical solution for fatal diseases. Though it sounded futuristic, Rivermind's mechanism felt all too familiar to our real-world experience. The system functioned on a subscription model, just like streaming platforms such as Netflix or Spotify. When it first launched, Rivermind set affordable prices to attract a large user base. Once a stable pool of users was established, they introduced more expensive tiers with greater benefits. This hierarchy allowed the company to target wealthier customers while keeping cheaper tiers for the general public. Simply put, the more money you paid, the more privileges you received. For those on basic plans, their experience was downgraded by the insertion of ads to boost revenue. In Amanda's case, The reason she fainted was because the broadcast tower at her location was only active under Rivermind Plus, the new package priced at $800 per month. If she didn't upgrade, she would have to sleep several more hours each night. Even worse, since Amanda was on the lowest tier, she was integrated with automatic ad broadcasting. At random moments, she would involuntarily recite ads appropriate to the context. Drinking coffee, she'd mention a new roasted blend. Talking about bees, she'd describe a honey-coated cereal. And even in the middle of intimacy with her husband, well, let's just say it wasn't something anyone wanted to hear. The frequency of ads grew denser, yet Amanda herself remained unaware of anything unusual. During one slip, she accidentally recited an ad for a Catholic family counseling center to a student whose parents were divorcing. She was promptly reprimanded and lost her job. Seeing the worsening situation, Mike tried picking up side hustles. He joined Dumb Dummies, an online money-making platform where content creators subjected themselves to physical torment in exchange for viewer donations. The riskier the stunt, the more money earned. Though bitter and disgusted at what he was doing, Mike endured every humiliation and pain to afford an upgrade to Rivermind Plus, ending Amanda's freezes and ad interruptions. But the relief was short-lived. Soon after, Plus became outdated. Amanda began sleeping over 12 hours a day, her body weakened to exhaustion. Her husband had become nothing more than a zombie controlled by technology. Desperate, they turned to Gore once again, hoping for answers. But what they received was just another sales pitch, disguised as innovation. Their hard-earned Rivermind Plus was now obsolete, replaced by Rivermind Lux, a tier of ultra-premium services. Besides sustaining consciousness, Lux offered enhancements, adjustable moods, emotions, even physical stamina, all controllable via a phone app. The highlight was a feature that allowed users to borrow skills from others instantly, accessing new experiences or knowledge without training. The cost? $1,000 a month. Not exactly appealing to existing customers, but Gore sweetened the pitch by offering hourly Lux packages, planting curiosity and desire. He warned that if Amanda remained on Rivermind Plus, now rebranded as Standard, her sleep time would be lengthened to free up system resources for premium users. Amanda was shocked. She stormed out in anger, though Mike lingered, trying to calculate the cost of the smallest Lux packages. To fully understand the couple's tragedy, we must step back and look at the circumstances that quietly shaped all their decisions. In the modern world, technological progress promises an ideal future where human life is enhanced to its peak. But along with this advancement comes a maze of choices. This very abundance makes wise decisions harder to reach. Amanda's coma forced Mike into an impossible corner. His dilemma wasn't just about saving her life. It was whether he should prolong her existence in a half-living state out of fear of loss. And if he chose to, how could he possibly shoulder the crushing hospital costs? Rivermind appeared like a lifeboat thrown to him at the exact moment of despair. An advanced yet simple free procedure, promising his wife a chance to live. Mike accepted Gore's offer without questioning the origins or motives behind this service. But Rivermind's operation was nothing more than a commercialized trap for profit. Such a risky therapy should have been tightly regulated by medical institutions, yet it was unleashed recklessly. Worse, its tiered service model mirrored society's class divide. The injustice became clear. People like Amanda clung to Rivermind just to survive, while wealthier families treated it as a luxury lifestyle enhancement. Each time Gore appeared, his outfits looked increasingly flashy and extravagant, a silent sign that he had profited handsomely from selling Rivermind services. In one ad for Rivermind Lux, the company highlighted a woman nearly killed by liposuction, a cosmetic surgery usually reserved for the rich. Placing the vanity of the wealthy alongside the desperate survival struggles of the poor made Rivermind's services feel grotesque, no matter how groundbreaking. For Mike, exposing himself on Dumb Dummies wasn't only about finances, it was about love. To recreate their wedding anniversary at Juniper, he saved enough for a 12-hour Rivermind Lux session as a gift to Amanda, making up for the ruined trip. Using the mood control feature, Amanda cranked her pleasure levels to rekindle intimacy. But Rivermind was only a programmed amplifier of emotions, incapable of grasping true human experiences. Amanda's behavior became exaggerated and unnatural, leaving Mike unable to recognize the woman he loved. Their troubles piled higher. A co-worker identified Mike from Dum Dummies and mocked him at work. A fight broke out, leading to an accident that injured the other man and cost Mike his job. Desperate, the couple returned to Gore to plead for an extension until they had more income. Mike even used money set aside for their baby to pay the monthly fee. But Gore coldly explained that costs would rise significantly due to the neurological changes of pregnancy. If Amanda wanted to conceive, they had no choice. Stopping Rivermind meant certain death. Mike realized that every decision he had made to save Amanda had instead trapped him in a moral and emotional gray zone. From a husband wanting to do the right thing, he had become a man constantly forced to compromise his dignity. Amanda's basic right to happiness, something every human deserves, had been imprisoned by an emotionless system of machines. Another year passed. Both Amanda and Mike were exhausted in body and spirit. Mike lost a finger, likely from one of his Dum Dummies stunts. Amanda's constant sleep left her frail, her hair falling out. They abandoned their dream of having a child and sold the crib. Still, as usual, they marked their anniversary. But this time, they couldn't afford Juniper. Instead, Mike gave Amanda a 30-minute Rivermind Lux session, the most meaningful gift he could manage. In that brief, peaceful moment, they decided together to end their suffering once and for all. The opening episode of Black Mirror Season 7 once again affirms the series' unique identity, a cold, dark mirror reflecting humanity's relationship with technology. Dark humor was cleverly woven in, such as when Gore casually adjusted a detachment slider to calm angry customers, or when Amanda compared her uncontrollable ad outbursts to Tourette's syndrome. The episode also tied cleverly to later ones, with details referencing Ditto, the candy company featured in Episode 2, named Demon 79. Though it carried the least sci-fi aesthetic of the series, Common People struck hardest at human tragedy. By portraying the misery of a couple pushed to their breaking point, the episode exposed the brutal truth of modern healthcare systems, where treatments and drugs are prioritized for the wealthy, even though they should be accessible to all. Rivermind's subscription model only deepened the injustice, exploiting pain and love for profit. Common People is undoubtedly one of the most haunting episodes, proving once again the brilliance of the creators behind Black Mirror. It serves as a warning of the dangers technological development can bring, especially when it penetrates so deeply into personal life, eroding humanity and stripping away genuine human connection. And that's Filmers' take on the short film Common People. Drop your thoughts in the comments and let's discuss together. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and...
in case I don't see ya, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Yeah.